To complete the game of Minecraft, you as the player have to make your way to the end portal, jump through it, and fight the Ender Dragon. Once the dragon is defeated, you are presented with two portals. The one in the middle, which takes you back to the overworld after having to sit through this boring long text no one actually gives a shit about. And then on the side of the island spawns an end gateway portal. So you would think that is it. The game is over and I can just start building whatever I want and start a family.
Bruh.
Well, you'd be wrong. Actually, no, that's a lie. You are basically right. But what you can actually do is just respawn the dragon and fight him again. However, each time you respawn and kill the dragon, another end gateway will spawn. The maximum amount of gateways we can have on the end island is 20. And for my future project build, in the end, we will require all 20 gateways. So today, we have the task of killing the Ender Dragon 20 times. However, I don't just want to kill the dragon with a bow over and over again. That's a bit boring. I want to take a different approach and kill the dragon with a variety of different items and see which one takes me the quickest to defeat the dragon and which one takes me the slowest. And if I'm being honest, I probably wouldn't have actually done this challenge if I knew how excruciatingly long and grindy one of the items took to get was. But nevertheless, let's get started on our journey to kill the Ender Dragon. Quick disclaimer, I'm really bad at killing the Ender Dragon. Let's begin. Our first item of choice is going to be probably the most common used weapon when fighting the dragon, if not the easiest, and that is the bow. Also, you can see in the top left, I have added a timer for each weapon I use, so that you can see how long each item takes for me to kill the dragon with. Oh crap, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to get the live split up. Oh yeah, after forgetting to add the timer, I had actually forgotten to press record as well, so I had to do the whole thing again. But we eventually got it done in the time of 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Also, I know that you can also get a crossbow for this, but I decided not to do it just because it's literally the same thing as the bow and I can't really be asked. Next weapon! Our next weapon of choice was the sword. Again, another common used weapon to kill the dragon with, but only once it was perched on top of the end portal. I found that flying around trying to hit it just became more of a risk to do so. As you'll see later on in the video, I do pop a lot of totems. So with all melee weapons, I just decided to stick to doing the most damage at the end portal. But we managed to secure the dub with a final time of 5 minutes and 54 seconds. Now we come on to the item that made me rethink my entire existence. The mace. Now you might be thinking, it's not that bad of an item to use. No, it's not. But you know what is bad and now makes me pay 60 quid an hour for therapy sessions is crafting the item. You see, to craft the mace you need two specific items, a breeze rod and a heavy core. Now the only way you can obtain these two items is completing trial chambers. Now at this point I'd found loads of trial chambers in my world while exploring and mining, but I never did them because I had the best gear and loot by then anyway, and getting the mace just never really appealed to me. So this was going to be a first. Before we set out, we had to obtain an ominous bottle. These are pretty easy to get, but all you have to do is just wait by a pillager tower for a banner pillager to spawn, unalive him, and then you get the potion. And you may as well unalive his mates as well, for this just being such a dreadful challenge. Fuck it. So, once you've made your way to the trial chamber and entered it, drink the potion. This effectively means you'll get harder mobs to fight, but a higher chance of obtaining an ominous trial key as a reward. These keys allow you to unlock the big ominous vaults, which houses the heavy core item that we need to make the mace. You'll also get a bunch of breeze rods from killing breeze mobs in these trials, so don't worry about them. Worry about this. Every time you open up an ominous chest with your key, there is a 7.5% chance that you'll get the heavy core, and there is only a couple of chests in each trial chamber. On top of that, once you open a trial chamber vault, then that's it. You cannot open it again. That is so stupid, so ridiculous. Mojang, why do you want me to cry? I could accept the fact that vaults reset after 30 minutes like the trials do, but only letting the player open each vault once is crazy. This took forever as I had to grind these trial chambers and collect new trial maps from villagers to find new ones. So just like Lana Rhoades, this sucked. Don't ever do it unless you hate yourself. Play the montage. Okay, guys, I like genuinely are gonna have to just like give this one a break because I think we actually might have to skip this one because it is just like it's just insane. I've been doing this for like 4 or 5 hours and I still haven't got the core. It's like ridiculous the amount of times I've like had to just grind these chambers out and I still haven't got the core or anywhere close to it. Like whoever designed this at Mojang, like what are you doing? Like I just don't understand how this was even allowed. Like who tested for this, man? It's so boring, bro. It's so boring. It's dull. It's tedious. It's not fun. But all right, anyway, rant over. I'm just gonna go continue with the other items for now, and then we'll come back to this one. So after my little whinge session, we moved on to the trident. Now, for this, you'll need a trident that is best suited for throwing at the dragon. So you'll need loyalty on it. Now, my first attempt at this was actually going quite well. I was just trying to get used to the bullet drop, if you will, of the trident when you throw it, and learning to give it a little bit of leeway. It's essentially the same mechanics as the bow. However, when I was 3/4 done, this happened.
Oh, hell no.
So I had stupidly thrown the trident into the void, so we had to start again. The second attempt I thought went a lot better. However, on the last throw to kill the dragon, I think I had actually killed him with my thorns on my armor, which activated the death animation. And at the same time, I threw the trident, which went through the dragon and fell straight into the void again. But I don't care. It was literally a win with it anyway, so I'm taking it as a dub. I'm literally not wasting any more tridents. But we did it in the total time of 7 minutes and 47 seconds. Next up was the axe. Like I said before, these next couple of weapons are all melee based, so not a whole lot to say about them. I will say though, I did try play it a bit more conservatively under this endstone ceiling I built, just because I started to get attacked more and more by endermen and it was getting quite annoying. Also was easier to not get targeted as much by the dragon's fireballs, but we got the final time of 5 minutes and 20 seconds in the end. Ha, get it? Yeah, okay, I'll just end the video here. Moving on to our next weapon was the pickaxe. This again was more of the same tactic we used as the axe, just hiding like a scared little nerd, then going for the kill when the dragon was perched. Same tactic, was actually pretty boring to be honest. Hey yo, what are you looking at, bruv? So just dug some holes because I'm an absolute legend, and then got the final time of 5 minutes and 44 seconds. Next we have the shovel, or spade as it were. Again, this one had nothing special with it, quite like my life, but this one was pretty boring and we got the final time of 7 minutes and 13 seconds. Also, I learned a cheesy pickup line while doing this one, so here it goes. Damn girl, is that a spade in your back pocket? Cause I'm digging that ass. Oh. I need a girlfriend. Now we come up to the item which surprised me the most, the hoe. If you're wondering why all my tools are netherite but this is still diamond, it's because I simply refuse to spend the value on them hoes. Mine with bros, not with hoes. Words to live by, words to live by. All jokes aside, this tool actually really surprised me. It has awful attack damage, as it should, but its attack speed is pretty high, so I was able to get a lot of quick hits in while the dragon was perched. So much so that I ended up with a huge time save of 5 minutes and 16 seconds. Way faster than the axe, pickaxe, and shovel. So there you go, the hoe is actually cracked. We are now moving on to explosives, and this obvious first choice is TNT. I kind of messed up with the prepping of this stage, as I should have placed down obsidian so that the platforms wouldn't get destroyed each time. But with a few rebuild of the platform, which slightly slowed us down, we got a final time of 7 minutes and 10 seconds. Not a great time, however, it was a lot more fun to do than killing the dragon with the tools. Up next we have the end crystals themselves. For this we had to put down obsidian, given the nature of placing end crystals down. But I was a bit too scared to hit them with my hand, as I would have to get proper close to them to do that. Not that the explosion itself would kill me, but if I exploded, it could knock me into the dragon, which could then do a lot more damage. So I just didn't want to take the risk. So we just just shot them with the bow. Also, I have no idea if placing down 2 to 3 does any more damage than just placing 1. It did kind of seem the same. Anyway, we pushed through and got the final time of 3 minutes and 25 seconds, our fastest time yet. However, our time was about to be shattered with this next item, as we now have moved on to the most famous way of killing the dragon, and probably the most popular method used by speedrunners, and that's by using the beds. My first attempt at this was actually so bad. I hadn't actually ever tried this before, so I kept messing up the momentum of placing down the beds and hadn't actually caused huge amounts of damage to the dragon. So much so that I'd used up all my beds and the dragon was still alive. So we had to redo it again. On the second attempt, I was scared the same thing would happen, so I kind of just made sure to bring a shulker boxes full of beds this time so that I could quickly grab them if I ran out of them in my inventory. But surprisingly, this attempt actually went quite well, and I managed to get a 1 cycle and secure a final time of a huge 1 minute and 48 seconds. Hey, that's around the same amount of time I lost in bed. After that, we used spawn anchors as our final explosive device. There was quite a specific setup for this, which you can do a 1 cycle in by placing 3 anchors on top of one another and exploding them as the dragon approaches the perch. It's the exact same technique as the bed one, but with a different setup. However, I failed to do it the first time because I'm bad at the game, and even failed to do it the second time. So we just had to solo explode them to finish the dragon off with a final time of 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Now for my favorite way to kill the dragon, and that is through the use of thorns. I hadn't actually thought of doing this method until I noticed the dragon was taking damage when I would fly into him accidentally. So I was excited to try this out. Now the strat for this is fairly obvious. Just slam dunk yourself into the dragon whenever you can. The best time I think is when he's perched, as you can get a few extra hits in while he's sat still. But I would personally carry 2 totems at all times if you are going to do this method, just to stay extra safe in case you somehow take extra damage when the first totem pops. But all in, we managed to secure the dub with a final time of 10 minutes flat. And now for the meme item. This item is the reason why I originally wanted to do this video, just because I thought it would be a funny way to kill the dragon with. Like, it's a feather, like, I mean, that's just jokes. And I also thought it would take ages and provide some sort of challenge. But actually, when doing it, it wasn't too bad. I think if you're holding an item that doesn't hold any value of damage on it, the amount of damage you actually do is as if you were gonna punch the dragon normally. But I thought holding a feather would be funnier anyways, so we had some fun with it, and it was pretty much the same start as before with the other melee weapons, where we would just hide and wait for the perch, but managed to get the final time of 11 minutes and 34 seconds. Now I wish I can say the video was over, but it's not. We still have 1 item to go, and that is the mace. Now I knew this was obviously going to be a grind, so I prepared some snacks and podcasts for the long haul and got to work. Cue the montage. So yeah guys, I'm sorry to admit this, but this was really taking forever. Like, it was a grind, and it just kept getting worse. I'm not the one for giving up on a challenge, but when something is at a drop rate of 7% each time, and it's all predetermined in the Minecraft world, it does really start to get ridiculous. I was already spending a huge amount of time on this that I was losing out on time spent on other big building projects within my world, and I just thought, is it really worth all the trouble? Like, does it actually matter? Like, I think the best course of action is to stop and focus on bigger and better things, and just take the loss on this one, as you can't always win them all. You can't always get what you want in life, and I really did learn that lesson here with these trial chambers, and it has really shown me how difficult this game can actually be, even though I already had the best gear possible. My efforts and talents just seem to be more useful in other aspects of the game, and with that I hung up the search for the heavy core. Oh, fuck that! You really think that after all that time I had invested that I was gonna give up like that? Hell no! I'm either gonna find this heavy core or die trying. I ain't giving up that easy. I've almost died a number of times during this challenge. Do you really think a simple vault is gonna take your boy down? Ain't no way. They're gonna have to send in Herobrine to take me down. In fact, make the drop rate 0.1%. There is nothing they can throw at me that's gonna make me quit this challenge. Yeah, I found it. Here's the clip. Oh my god! Oh my god, I was muted. No. Okay, hold on. I gotta get safe. I gotta get out of here, dude. I gotta get out of here. Oh my god. Holy crap. Oh my god. Guys, like, no joke. I was literally, like, just watching a podcast muted. I just had it on record. I just didn't even think about it. Oh my god. I was not prepared for that. Holy crap. Dude. Oh, and I got a density as well in that same drop. That's insane. Oh my god. It's been so long. It's been so long. Bro, I am so happy. Dude, that was a grind. That was literally probably the worst thing I've actually ever grinded in this game for. Like, it's just so mind-numbingly boring. A 7% chance of getting it. Like, oh, dude, I am actually so gassed. We've also got, like, pretty much all of the enchantment books as well, just because we've been at this for, like, so long. Dude, I'm so glad that's over, man. Alright, let's get this final kill on the dragon, man. I'm so ready for this to be done. Hands down, the worst thing ever. Mojang, you need to fix this, please. Please. Oh, I wonder if it actually makes like a noise. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's like a sound effect that puts some hair on your chest. So guys, after eventually finding the heavy core and crafting it, we went into battle for the final time. Now, this mace was actually pretty underwhelming, not gonna lie. I think I was definitely using it wrong, but I just didn't really care at this point. I just wanted to get it done. However, I was still having fun with it by doing some dive bombs into the dragon, but we eventually secured the final kill of the dragon with a time of 9 minutes and 47 seconds. We still had a few more kills to go, but I just quickly did that with a bow and sword, and we had finally secured our 20th end gate, completing the full circle of end gates in the end. And with that, we had completed our mission. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. My brain needs it from all that grinding. And I'll see you all in the next one.